Hello everyone, I'm Saddest before. Welcome back to a new reaction video, and this is a different one, like I said in the last one, but it's another Bluey reaction video, but this is on the top 10 saddest Bluey moments, and this is uploaded by Nintendo, which you should check out. Now, I don't normally react to top lists, but since this is on Bluey, I'm really curious to what other people think of some episodes, and I chose this one because there are some episodes of Bluey that actually do get me emotional. Like, Sleepy Time is the biggest example. There's also Butterflies, and there's also the camping episode. There'll probably be some others, but I probably forgot. But oh well. Now, the original link will be in the description, as well as the Nintendo's channel, which you should check out. And apparently it's like his most popular video, but I hope he doesn't mind me reacting to this, because I'm really curious what other people think of, like, some of the a list of Bluey episodes that get them emotional. And without further ado, let's begin the video. Oh yeah, and I'm hoping BBCW family do not come after me for this, because I know you do copyright Bluey and all, but you don't need to block it or what. And this was re-uploaded because of the copyright issues. Oh, I know that music. That's from the camping episode.
I know. You guys may be tired of me talking about this show, but I can't help it. There are just so many things that I like about Bluey, like the characters and the music. But what I want to focus on today are the moments when the show can get pretty sad. The show may seem like happy, pleasant fun with charming dialogue and cute scenarios, and for the most part, it is. But there are times where the show can quiet down to show something that may even bring a tear to one's eye.
Yeah.
Through the past 78 episodes, Bluey has had many powerful moments that tug at the heartstrings rather than tickle the funny bone. And I'm here to count down on what I consider to be the 10 most emotional moments. Before I start my list, remember, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with anything on my list. You might find one moment more sad than another. You may even find any of these moments not all that sad. But please don't judge my picks. I have my reasons, and I'll explain why with each moment. Though, feel free to comment down below which moment you think is the saddest. I'd be interested to read them. Anyway, on to my list of the saddest Bluey moments.
Yep, here we go. This is like a 24-minute video.
Number 10.
Oh, number 10. Here we go. What have we got for number 10? That's
Bluey is Root the Socks, Veranda Santa.
Oh,
I
know this episode.
Bluey is told that Santa doesn't give presents to naughty kids, so she tries to be as nice as possible. While playing a game of Veranda Santa, Socks bites Bluey when she picks her up. Upset by this, she plays a mean trick by not giving Socks anything during her turn.
What's under your pillow, Socks?
Oh, I guess Veranda Santa doesn't give presents to kids who bite people.
Bluey!
She bit me!
Of course, what makes this scene sad is the way Socks reacts to what Bluey did. We know that it isn't fair to be rude to someone who doesn't know any better. I mean, Socks is 1 year old. Thankfully, the parents tell Bluey that you should be nice not because of presents, but that it's the right way to act, which is a good lesson to learn, especially around Christmas time. Bluey then apologizes to Socks, and all is forgiven. While sad, it ends in a very heartwarming way, which most entries on this list do, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. I think I only need to notice this is a South Park OC. It's really good.
Number 9.
Even though I've never seen the show.
Bingo thinks she's not a good friend. Bob Bilby.
Oh, this episode.
It's Bingo's turn to look after Bob Bilby for the weekend, who is a hand puppet. The family says they'll have a fun weekend until they are soon attracted to their electronic devices. As Chili takes pictures to put in a book, they realize that all they did with Bob was watch cartoons, which starts to upset Bingo.
He doesn't look like he's having much fun.
No, he doesn't, does he?
Oh, Bingo.
Oh, Bingo.
What makes this sad is how serious Bingo takes it. It feels like she let down a friend, despite not being real. That mentality makes the scene more emotional than it had to be, but it makes the impact more effective.
I'm the worst friend Bob's got. He's never going to want to visit again.
Thankfully afterwards, the family ditches the electronics for a day and give Bob the time of his life. A nicely written episode with a pretty effective sad moment in it. Number 8.
Alright, we'll have number 8.
Bingo thinks she ruins Mother's Day. Twice. The show.
I feel bad
this
for Bingo
episode
in that
actually
episode.
starts with a sad moment. Bingo trips and spills Chili's breakfast. Heartbroken by it, she gets down on herself before Chili and Bluey help get her mind off of it. Later, while putting on a play, Bingo starts to feel better until a mishap occurs, crushing Bingo's self-esteem once more.
Yeah, it's that episode.
We can just blow up another one. Oh, there's no blue ones left. Oh, I ruin Mother's Day every day.
I'm there for
The
you,
thought of
Bingo.
letting down a friend is sad enough, but how about the thought of letting down your own mother? This episode does a good job representing how one must feel when they do something like that. Bingo feels sadness, regret, shame. It is common for a child to feel like this, and I believe that's one of the biggest reasons on why these scenes are effective. While it may be dramatic, it doesn't go too far to the point of being unrealistic. What makes it worse is how Bingo keeps shaming herself despite Bluey and Chili's efforts to help her.
She's sad because she thinks she ruined your day.
Yeah,
You tried more than
I'm
that to
usually
ruin
like that
my
if I
day, Bingo.
upset one of my
I
friends.
ruin everything.
Though, after Bingo follows Chili's advice, she
you
regains her
don't.
self-esteem,
You're trying to help.
leading to a very heartwarming finale. 2 emotional moments for the price of one, packed into a great Season 2 episode.
I wonder what other episodes coming up.
Number 7. Jack reflects on himself, and Rusty's father returns. Army. With a title like Army, it's bound to have a sad moment or two. Jack is the new kid at
That is a
Phillips's
true
school,
point.
and he isn't your typical kid, as he has ADHD. He gets introduced to Rusty,
know if I
who's about
do.
to play Army, and he comes along with him. Throughout the game, Jack and Rusty get along, while Jack learns how to control his disability, all leading up to the dust-off. There, Jack expresses how he feels about himself.
Why did you come to this school? Was there something wrong with your old school?
No, there's something wrong with me. I'm not good at doing what I'm told. I can't sit still, and I can't remember anything, like numbers or letters on my hat.
I do relate to that.
These few seconds really hit me on a personal level, as I've been where Jack is. As I've grown older, I've been more aware of my autism and how I act compared to other people around me.
Yeah.
Like Jack, I'd have some moments where I would go through the day carefree. Then I'd have moments where I would sit quietly and think deeply about myself. As you can tell, this hit really close to home for me, and I think other people might have the same feelings that I do about this scene. Though Bluey does it in a way where people with disabilities don't have to feel ashamed of themselves, especially since this line follows it.
Well, you're really good at playing Army.
With what Rusty says gives Jack a sense of accomplishment and hope, which just warms my heart. Being disabled is
Warms
nothing to
mine
be
when I saw
ashamed
it.
of, which is an excellent moral to know. But back on track. During the episode, we find out that Rusty's dad is in the army, and is why Rusty is so fascinated on the topic. At the end of the day, he is surprised by a familiar voice as the episode ends.
Oh, can I have my condensed milk now?
Where'd you get condensed milk from?
Rusty gave it to me.
See you, Jack.
Hey, Rusty!
His dad brought it back from patrol.
This moment really needs no explanation. It's so sweet it can make anyone cry tears of joy. These are both emotional but powerful scenes that'll affect any viewer. Number 6. Bluey abandons/apologizes to Bingo.
Oh,
Butterflies.
this episode.
Bluey, Bingo, and their neighbor Judo
no.
play butterflies in
This
the
will set me
backyard.
off.
Throughout the game, Judo and Bingo don't quite get along with each other.
Judo is so bossy. Yeah, she is, but she doesn't have anyone else to play with.
Once it's Bingo's turn, Judo convinces Bluey to leave her and do something else. But Bingo notices and sees what's going on.
Flap, 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 flap. Not because you're dirty, not because you're clean. Bluey, you were meant to catch me.
Yeah.
Ah! Quick, Bluey, run away!
Bluey, you shouldn't really...
Quick!
You should listen to your sister.
House.
Oh, no.
While the scene in its entirety is shocking, what gets my attention is Bluey. Some may say that she's a bad sister for not picking Bingo, but let's take a closer look. Look at the expression on her face as she stands there.
Yeah, I feel bad
She's
that
put
Bluey's
in an
getting
uncomfortable
controlled.
situation and has to act fast. Her mind can't take the time to think. And then the look of regret she makes as she turns to follow Judo just shows how good the show's writing is with its attention to detail.
Yeah,
She knew she made a bad
definitely.
choice, but wasn't given the time to properly decide. But after a couple minutes, she runs back to apologize to Bingo in another sad scene.
I'm sorry, Bingo. I didn't mean to run away
this
from
scene.
you.
This is the scene
don't
that
make
actually gets
me
me
do it.
emotional.
Well, she didn't make
By the way, this is
me.
flipped. I didn't do
I
this.
did it a bit myself. I'll never do it again, Bingo. I promise. Please, can we play together?
Though after a little song, the two sisters and eventually Judo all make up. These two scenes are good examples on the power of love between siblings and shows how well written the show can be on conveying topics like this.
Hold on, let me pause for a minute. That still gets me. Even when I watch a little clip of that episode, that just still gets me emotional. You'd probably know if you've seen the full episode. Oh shit, I nearly had tears in my eyes because of that. Let's see. Alright, I think I'm ready, so let's continue.
Number 5. Bingo grows up and leaves. Flat Pack. Now, don't take the title too seriously. It's only a game, yet it still gives me the feels. While the parents construct a swinging bench, the kids make up games using the cardboard and styrofoam scraps from the packaging. They end up playing the evolution of life, starting as fishes, then lizards, dinosaurs, etc. They also pretend to be mother and daughter, with Bingo aging as they change species.
Is this the one when they're on the island?
The episode ends with them playing as builders from the future, with Bingo now being an adult and ready to leave.
Look, Mum, I built a spaceship to go and explore space. Oh, you're always such a clever thing. Bye, Mum. Thanks for looking after me. That's okay, honey.
I'll admit, I think the movie Up scarred me for life, as I find the progression of life to be a very emotional concept. Not to go through too much detail, but it's a subject I think about from time to time. What also makes this scene sad is the music. Most of these moments have emotional songs, but this one stands out to me. It's beautifully composed and really helps drive the emotion of sadness.
Now what do I do? Psst, hey!
Oh, got hiccups now. He was not joking.
This is heaven.
Once again, another moment that gets me for personal reasons and from another great Season 2 episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 4.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sleepy Time
The
comes
Budgie
up.
dies. Copycat. Now we get to the more well-known sad moments in the show.
This is the one
During
where...
a game of Copycat, where Bluey copies everything Bandit does, they come across an injured
I've
Budgie.
seen this episode.
It's a little budgie.
Is it okay?
No, it looks hurt.
What do we do?
We better get him some help.
After picking it up, they take it to the vet, only to be given some sad news.
I'm sorry. It's bad news, I'm afraid. The little budgie died.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, kiddo. Come here.
Like with Army, I don't really need
This is
to explain why this scene is sad. I mean, a bird dies. It speaks for itself. Death in general is a heavy topic, no matter what the context or situation is. There's also the thought of what could have been done that would have made a difference. Yeah. Like, what if they arrived at the vet sooner? Would the bird have survived then? Or what if they left the house earlier? Could they have prevented the budgie from getting injured? It gets pretty heavy when you think about stuff like this. While I'm not a big fan of this episode, I say that the first half is really solid. It's nicely paced and succeeds in pulling off a scene like this. One of the show's most memorable scenes, and for good reasons. Certainly one of the biggest tearjerkers.
Dad,
Yes, mate?
I don't want the budgie to have died.
I know. Me neither. But there's nothing we
I
can
wouldn't
do.
want any animal to
It's out
die.
of our hands.
Number 3. Floppy leaves Bingo.
Oh,
and
here
Bingo
we
matures.
go.
Sleepy time.
This
Being
episode
the mid-season
touches me
finale,
so
I
hard.
think, for season 2, I wasn't expecting this episode to go this direction. The family goes to sleep after Bingo hears a couple bedtime stories. Bingo tells Chili that she wants to sleep alone that night. As she falls asleep, we then enter her dream as she is floating around space with her stuffed animal, Floppy. While exploring space, she sleepwalks through different bedrooms, having fun in the process. Though, starting to feel cold, she and Floppy float back to Earth, but soon come across a school of other Floppies, which sadly splits the duo.
Oh, it's this part. Poor Bingo.
Of course, you can see why this scene would make one sad. Despite only being a dream, some dreams feel very real, like you're actually living it, and the feeling of separation is one that we're all too familiar with. Though, this scene saddens me more than the others, mostly because this is the first time in the show's history that we see a character cry. Normally, when characters are sad, they just tear up and sniffle. But here, Bingo's sobbing, dispensing tears as they float away. It just breaks my heart, especially since Bingo's one of my favorite characters in the show. It doesn't last long, though, as Bingo suddenly fast travels to the sun, comforting her. We find out that the sun is actually Chili, keeping her warm. Bingo, realizing what she said before, reminds her that she wants to sleep alone.
I have to go. I'm a big girl now.
Remember, I'll always be here for you, even if you can't see me. Because I love you.
That's what people I know would say.
This scene gets me too. Once again, because of Bingo. She stands up for herself and is starting to grow up. I know it sounds weird, but after watching 77 episodes before this, it gets me emotional as these characters are really maturing as the show progresses. Also, the music once again is spectacular. This might be the show's most impressive composition yet. It's very beautiful, and it does its job perfectly on getting the intended emotions out of the audience. Sleepy Time was impressive and definitely one of the most emotional episodes of this series so far.
I actually cried when I watched the actual episode. Not gonna lie.
Number 2.
Even after many rewatches, I still cry after it.
Bandit leaves Rug Island. Island.
This the island one.
The kids once again want Bandit to play, but he rejects as he has to go to work. As he leaves, Chili gives the kids some felt pens, which they use to play Rug Island. Once they start playing, Bandit plays along, pretending to be shipwrecked. Despite being a grown-up, Bingo lets him stay and shows him all the activities they do, like catching fish. After an incident involving Pat's football, they make Bandit an official member of the island. As they keep playing, the ship returns to take Bandit home.
They've come to take me home.
But this is your home. You can't have two homes.
Yeah, you're right. What am I going to do?
And Bingo, while saddened by it, suggests that he should return back to his home.
Really? Are you sure?
Yes, it's okay. I'm just glad you came to Rug Island.
Oh, come here. I'm gonna
This
miss
episode
you.
doesn't get emotional.
Despite only being a game, this scene hit
can't
me
speak.
harder than I expected. Like with Sleepy Time, the feeling of separation is heavy. Just having one's presence leave and possibly never return is a thought no one wants to have about a loved one. Just before he leaves, Bingo gives him a parting gift, and one he'll never forget.
What did she give you?
everything.
I'm not kidding. That ending came the closest to making me cry. It's so simple yet so beautiful and sweet.
Yeah,
and once
I can see
again,
why.
the music did a successful job in doing so. The piano, even the choir, helped make this track one of the most emotional in the show's history.
Yeah.
What is just a simple game is turned into one of the most emotional moments thanks to a well-written story and well-orchestrated composition.
I bet camping's gonna come up.
Before I get to my number one pick, I'd like to bring up a couple honorable mentions. These 3 were pretty saddening, but weren't as much as the other 10.
Oh, sorry, children.
Monster.
Oh, Greenie! Greenie, no!
Like with Bob Bilby, even if it's not real, the feeling of loss and failure is pretty sad. It just wasn't as emotional as the others listed.
Yoga ball. Oh, bingo. Aww.
Of course, it breaks my heart whenever Bingo gets sad, and this is one of the bigger moments. It just lasted a bit too short, but the episode is still good with it.
Daddy, come and see. Oh, goodbye. Have fun.
Oh, this episode.
I'll miss you.
The scene itself
Probably
isn't
misses
all
you as
that
well.
sad, but what gets me is the song. For some reason, it gets me emotional whenever I listen to it, even when used in happy
Wait.
scenes. Because of that, this moment wasn't as effective on me as the others.
I think the weekend music that you just heard, I think that was heard on my Bluey, the video game gameplay stuff actually.
Number
Alright.
1. John Luke
I
Leaves,
knew it.
Camping.
I've
I
seen.
bet
I
most
actually
of
have
you
the
are
episode
waiting
on
for
DVD.
this one, but for those who don't know what I'm talking about, listen up. During a camping trip, Bluey befriends a French boy named John Luke. Despite the language barrier, they enjoy each other's company. They
Yeah.
pretend to be stranded and in need of food, so they plant a seed in the ground, not realizing the time it will take for it to grow. They instead try to go after Bandit, pretending that he's a wild pig. After 2 failed attempts, they successfully catch Bandit and are each called to dinner once more. Bluey is excited to see him the next day, but John Luke looks more sad than usual. The next morning, Bluey sees that the seed is sprouting. She goes to John Luke's tent, only to find it gone. Asking Chili, she delivers the sad news.
Mum, you know where Jean-Luc is? His tent's not there.
Oh, yes, I saw them packing up.
What?
They must have left early this morning.
You mean they're gone?
I'm afraid so, sweetheart.
Like the 2 previous scenes, this one deals with the topic of separation as well, but what makes this one more effective is that it's real. Floppy leaving was a dream, Bandit leaving was a game, but John Luke is actually gone, which of course crushes Bluey. It's even more heartbreaking since they only spent a small amount of time together. The progression of their growing friendship is now on pause, and it may never continue. The image of her crying in front of the sprout is one that I'll never forget. Later that night, Bluey talks to Chili about how she feels, to which Chili gives her some nice advice.
Well, look, sometimes special people come into our lives, stay for a bit, and then they have to go.
But that's sad.
It is. But the bit where they were here was happy, wasn't it?
Yeah. We caught a wild pig together.
Maybe that makes it all worth it.
Not only is this a great lesson, but it's one kids really should hold on to. Pretty much all the morals taught throughout these moments are ones kids should remember. While sometimes sad, morals like these can have a positive effect on children. They can learn to not let these untimely events let them down, and that remembering the good times is not only healthy, but helps create memories that they'll never forget. That's one of the many reasons why I love this show. In the end, Bluey asks a question, leading to one of the best conclusions of any episode in the show.
Will I ever see him again?
Well, you never know. The world's a magical place.
Whoa.
Chili does have a point.
Finished.
It is a magical place.
Ooh, stars. Pretty.
Sorry for the noise on this thing.
Bluey, that book's mine. I know it's yours, Muffin. I'm just borrowing it.
Bluey grown up.
Hello, Bluey.
I think I don't have to really explain why this scene is so emotional. The flash forward is quite a surprise to first-time viewers, and John Luke's return is very, very sweet. Though, is it a dream, or did it actually happen? I believe that it's left up to the viewers to decide for themselves. The final third of this episode is emotional, inspirational, and definitely one of the most heartwarming and heartbreaking scenes in the entire show. And that's my list of the top 10 saddest Bluey moments, or saddest Bluey episodes because of those moments. It does feel weird with how personal I got during this list, but I've wanted to talk about these scenes for a while, and I'm glad I got to. I really enjoy talking about this show, if it wasn't so obvious. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Also, comment down below which moment in the show made you the most emotional. Consider subscribing for more top lists as well as other content, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.
Oh. That's the Sleepy Time. That's music from the Sleepy Time episode. Well, that was it. Oh, I will say this is a really, interesting list. And most of them I actually do agree with. Well, there's not that many episodes that make me emotional, but most of the ones that do get me emotional actually got mentioned. The Butterflies episode actually upset me so much, I actually had to pause one moment. Oh. I wonder what the extended episode of Bluey will be like, because as I'm filming this, I don't think we still got it yet, or either BBC iPlayer or Disney Plus hasn't really released it yet. I can see why he's put the camping episode as #1, because separation, like, I actually got so emotional during the part where Bluey actually went to the plant and cried. Honestly, actually touched me. But this is a really good list, and I am going to end the video here, so all I'm going to say is thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in whatever next video I film. Bye-bye.